Her and her husband went no contact with his family because they legit believe his mom is a narcissist. She's manipulative, name calls, railroads their boundaries, and she even posts negatively about the daughter-in-law on social media. All of this led them to finally reach a point like, we gotta take a break. They took a break and they finally felt like they were up to that first big meeting after taking a break and going no contact. At the meeting, the mother-in-law pointed her finger and yelled at the daughter-in-law the entire time, like blaming her for everything, which we've talked about. It's super normal for your spouse's family to blame the person married into the family. It's easier, it's less painful, and it takes less energy because if it's an outside source, the person in the wrong doesn't have to turn the mirror back and reflect like, ooh, what am I doing wrong? Like, are my behaviors inappropriate at all? So following the meeting, her husband wrote his mom a really heartfelt letter. Like, this is why we had to take a break. It was your behaviors. To which she responded, sorry, I'm not perfect. So there's really no accountability happening, and the daughter-in-law is worried if we continue to re-engage with her, she will continue to divide us because her husband has not been able to hold any boundaries with his mom because, again, she's a master manipulator. First, I want to acknowledge how hard it is to be the one getting blamed for everything when you're just caught in the crossfire. It's awful, and I'm really sorry for that. Second, you and your husband are not on the same page because if he can't hold a boundary, you guys actually haven't successfully set a boundary. So what I would do is I would get into couples therapy. Having a professional go through this with you, a neutral third party that can teach him how to separate from his family of origin and fully connect with you, and then also work through the guilt he has by, like, when he does stand up to his mom. Like, it's painful for your husband because he hasn't been taught autonomy and that he can do that. So working with a professional, that would be my answer. And also having a professional help us lay out, like, what are our boundaries as a couple. And the last step, and I don't know if your mother-in-law would agree to this based on her level of immaturity and what she's doing, but the last step I would do is I would invite my mother-in-law or my in-laws, both of them, in for family therapy. So once my husband and I are solid, like there is no moving past like our firm boundaries, then I would include her into therapy. But even if she says no to that invite, going forward, you and your husband are completely different. You're transformed as a unit after going through couples therapy and getting on the same page.